Good evening, and welcome to Modern Debates, the show that explores the big questions of our time. Tonight, we are discussing a topic that affects millions of people every day, especially the younger generation. Our question is, are social media influencers a positive role model? In our digital world, influencers have a huge impact on trends, opinions, and even our personal goals. But is this influence a good thing? To help us explore this, we have two excellent guests. Leo is a university student studying digital media. He sees influencers as a modern source of inspiration and community. Welcome, Leo. And Dr. Eleanor Vance is a child psychologist with over 15 years of experience. She has concerns about the effects of influencer culture on young people's mental health. Welcome, Dr. Vance. We will begin with opening statements from both our guests. After that, we will have a discussion, and finally, they will give their closing thoughts.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm happy to be here. I believe that social media influencers are a new and important kind of role model, and they are often very positive. Unlike famous actors or singers from the past, influencers feel more real and accessible. You can interact with them directly. One of the biggest benefits they offer is community. Think about a teenager who loves a specific video game or a particular author. They might not have friends at school who share that interest. Online, they can follow an influencer who creates a whole community around that topic. They can connect with people from all over the world who understand their passion. This helps people feel like they belong. Another key point is inspiration. Many influencers motivate their followers to improve their lives. For example, there are fitness influencers who share simple workout routines that you can do at home. They make exercise feel less scary. There are also travel influencers who show us amazing places and cultures, which can encourage us to be more open-minded and adventurous. Even Study With Me influencers who just stream themselves studying can motivate students to focus on their own schoolwork. Finally, many influencers use their platform to make a real positive impact on the world. We see influencers raising millions of dollars for charities or for disaster relief. They talk about important social issues like protecting the environment or mental health awareness. They show young people that one person's voice can be powerful and can be used to help others. Of course, not all influencers are perfect, but no role models are. It's about finding the ones who share your values. In my view, they are a powerful force for good.
Thank you for having me. Leo raises some interesting points, but I believe he is painting a picture that is too optimistic. While some positive influencers exist, the overall culture they promote is often quite harmful, especially for children and teenagers. My first major concern is materialism. Let's be clear. For most top influencers, their job is to sell things. Their posts are filled with sponsored content and advertisements. They create a culture where happiness is directly connected to owning the latest phone, the most fashionable clothes, or expensive makeup. This sends a dangerous message to young, impressionable minds that you need to buy things to be happy or popular. My second concern is the promotion of unrealistic lifestyles. Influencers show a carefully selected and edited version of their lives. Every photo is perfect, every holiday is amazing, and they never seem to have a bad day. When young people see this, they compare their own normal, complicated lives to this impossible standard. This comparison can lead to serious problems, such as anxiety, low self-esteem, and serious body image issues. They start to believe that their own life is not good enough. Finally, I am very worried about the lack of accountability. Many influencers give advice on very serious topics. They act like experts on nutrition, fitness, mental health, and even financial investments. But they usually have no professional qualifications. They are not doctors, therapists, or financial advisors. Following their advice can be irresponsible, and in some cases, genuinely dangerous. So while the idea of a relatable role model is nice, the reality is that many influencers are commercially driven personalities. They sell a perfect, expensive, and often fake lifestyle, which makes them very poor role models for our children.
Thank you both for those clear opening statements. Dr. Vance, I'd like to start with you. Leo talked about the positive communities that influencers can create. Do you not see any value in these online connections for young people who might feel isolated?
I understand the desire for connection, and these online spaces can feel supportive at first. However, these are not the same as real, deep relationships. They are often superficial. These communities are built around a single person and a shared interest, but they are also places of intense social pressure and comparison. You have to like the right things, use the right products, and agree with the group's opinion. Instead of reducing loneliness, this can sometimes make it worse. If a young person feels they don't quite fit in with the group, they can end up feeling even more isolated than before. Real connection is about being accepted for who you are, not for who you pretend to be online.
A very interesting point. Leo, Dr. Vance raised a serious concern in her opening statement about unrealistic beauty and lifestyle standards. How do you defend influencers against that criticism?
That's a fair criticism, but I don't think it's the full story. Firstly, audiences are becoming much more aware and critical. There is a growing demand for authenticity. Many popular influencers today are successful because they show their imperfections and talk openly about their struggles. They are the ones who are building the most loyal communities. Secondly, let's not forget that traditional media, like magazines and Hollywood films, have been promoting unrealistic standards for a very long time. In a way, social media is an improvement. It gives a platform to a much wider variety of people, with different body types, backgrounds, and lifestyles, which you would never see in a magazine.
Thank you, Leo. Dr. Vance, let's talk about a different type of influencer. What about those who focus only on education, science, or history? Surely they must be considered positive role models?
Absolutely. I have a great deal of respect for educators who use these platforms to share knowledge. They are a fantastic resource, and I would encourage any young person to follow them. They are truly positive role models. However, we must be realistic about their place in the social media world. They are a very small minority. The influencers who become rich and famous, the ones with tens of millions of followers, are rarely the history teachers or the science experts. The most popular influencers, the ones who define the culture, are almost always selling a lifestyle. The social media algorithms are designed to promote what is shocking, beautiful, or dramatic, not what is educational. So while these positive examples exist, they are not the ones with the biggest influence.
A final question for this section. Leo, Dr. Vance worries that influencers give dangerous advice without being experts. How should young followers protect themselves from this?
This is probably the most important challenge we face with social media today. But the answer is not to blame influencers alone. The answer is education. We need to teach media literacy in schools from a young age. We must give young people the tools to think critically about the information they see online. They need to learn to ask questions like, who is this person? Are they qualified to give this advice? Are they trying to sell me something? It's about creating responsible consumers of media. The responsibility is shared. Creators should be more responsible, but users also need to be smart about who they trust and what they believe. To summarize my position, I believe that influencers can be, and often are, a positive force. They build supportive communities, provide motivation and inspiration for personal growth, and show that it's possible to use your voice to create positive change in the world. The world has changed, and our role models have changed with it. The key is not to reject this new form of influence completely. Instead, we must teach ourselves and our children how to navigate the digital world wisely and choose role models who truly inspire us to be better.
I want to leave the audience with a word of caution. While positive influencers exist, the dominant culture of social media encourages materialism, creates unrealistic standards that damage mental health, and provides a platform for unqualified and dangerous advice. We cannot ignore these risks. I urge parents, guardians, and educators to have open conversations with young people. Ask them who they follow and why. Encourage them to think critically about the content they consume and to value real-life connections and achievements over online perfection.
Thank you both, Leo and Dr. Vance, for sharing your very different and insightful perspectives on this important topic. It's clear that this is a complex issue with no easy answers. We hope this conversation has given you, our audience, plenty to think about. And we leave you with one final question to consider. Who are the role models you choose to follow and why? Good evening.